Good morning, BHS. This is your principal, Mr. Lewis. It is my honor to welcome you to the 2020-21 school year. For those of you I've not had the pleasure of meeting, it is my 6th year at BHS, living with this Buck pride in this amazing school and community, and I can't wait to get started with you. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with some celebrations from this past spring that you might not know about. Did you know in February, Funderburg Stadium was named the 2019 Field of the Year by Illinois Sports Turf Managers Association. A big shout out to our grounds crew and maintenance for making that happen. We've got a modern day dynasty here at Belvedere High School. In February, our Scholastic Bowl team completed the three-peat with their third straight regional championship. Congratulations to our coaches and participants for that. Advanced placement tests. We set school records for the number of AP students and the number of exams that we took this past spring, and despite the challenges of doing so remotely, had the highest pass percentage since 2017. Congratulations to all involved. We got to celebrate graduation, even though it looked different. With the class of 2020, we had a virtual graduation, so we did the window paint, we decorated our caps, we even got a shout out from Nicholas Conservatory in Rockford. They were flying the purple and gold that evening to honor Belvedere High School. Our class of 2020, we thank you for leaving Belvedere High School better than you found it. And we started sharing some more purple and gold around the school. Okay, you'll see whenever you're able to come back that we've got purple and gold, courtesy of our custodians, in the locker bays, on our handrails in the bathrooms, everywhere that you could imagine. We've got purple and gold. We're sharing that Buck pride around here. And we've been working really, really hard as a staff to get ready for you. The last 2 weeks, we've had trainings 5 times more than we've ever had to be able to get ready for a school year, and we can't wait to meet you and reconnect with you and provide a positive learning experience for you. We know that this is going to be challenging. We know it's going to be different, but we also know that it can be done and it can be done well. And what we need you to know, students, going into this uncertainty is a number of things. What we know is most important. We want to understand you. We want to understand what this past 5 months has been like for you, what you're excited about, what you're nervous about. And we want to be able to support you with that. We want to connect with you as people. We want to know what inspires you, what excites you, how you learn best, and how we can connect you with where you're at right now with where you want to be. You matter. You all have greatness in you. Okay? You matter, and you have the potential to do whatever it is that you want to do, and we want to help you get there. And you belong here. BHS, we celebrate the diversity that we have here. We celebrate the individuals and who people are, not only from the staff perspective, but the student perspective. And we can't wait to help our staff and our students shine brightly throughout this year. Our purpose is to find greatness. And one of the parts of our Monday message is to pursue greatness every single day. There's going to be good days and there's going to be tough days this year. Every single day in everything we do, we always want to remember to pursue greatness, and that is going to get us there. A few topics that I'm going to cover today. I want to briefly talk about why we're starting in a remote setting. I want to talk about our schedule, which is different than last year, and I want to talk about a very important Google site. So why are we going remote? For a couple of reasons. Stability and consistency. You all know that without a moment's notice, we had to go from being here in school like we know and are accustomed to into a remote setting, and we tried to figure it out on the fly. By starting remote and knowing we had 3 weeks to prepare for this, we were able to create a system that's predictable and consistent and something that people can adapt to. Stability and consistency is the main thing. We want to have a focus on learning. I was quarantined for 2 weeks in August. I was not sick. No one in my family was sick, but because of the contact tracing and the quarantine rules, I had to work from home for 2 weeks. And the nature of our current situation is such that it doesn't take much to to lead to quarantine, and our district decided that in a remote setting, we would have a better chance to be able to focus on learning and great learning experiences versus spending our time, energy, and resources on things related to that aren't related to learning. So that's one of the main reasons why we're in a remote setting. And we do have to remember that this is only temporary. It may not feel like it, but eventually our public officials and medical professionals are going to help us break through, and we're going to be able to get back towards the lives and structures that we're used to. And we're going to come back even better. Our high school schedule is different this year. You will only be taking 4 classes at any one given time. Every quarter, you may switch a class, but only 4 classes at any one time. So what you have built in is 4 75-minute blocks, and then you have a 45-minute lunch. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday is when you will follow this schedule. On Wednesdays, we have what are called conference days. Teachers will be doing a lot of prep. They'll be doing a lot of planning on that day, but an important block of time on Wednesdays is 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And Mr. Swanson will be talking about that more later in this week's training for you, but that is the basic overview of the schedule. Now, taking a look at your schedule, understanding where you need to be at 9 o'clock, 10:25, 12:25, and 1:50. We're going to run through that very, very briefly. When you got your printed out schedule, when we mailed it to you, or when you printed it out on your own, or when you received it at supply pickup last week, it looked something like this. So T1 represents the first semester, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So going back to our block schedule, periods 1, 3, 5, and 7. So in this example, government, wellness, world mythology, and there are no study halls. But those would go into the blocks 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's how you read it. So for the first quarter, it's the odd numbered periods that are going to be your schedule. When you get into the second quarter, that's when you're going to do 2, 4, 6, and 8. So for this example, Foods 1, World Literature, Lifetime Wellness, and Info and Software Systems. So there's the first quarter. In our second quarter, we have the even numbers, 2, 4, 6, and 8. We have a couple of tutorial videos planned or prepared for this that go into more detail on how to read your schedule. So teachers, if you would like, at this moment, go ahead and pause this video and play either the English schedule explanation or the Spanish schedule explanation for your students, or share out each one accordingly. Hey, if you paused and you are back, we will continue going on with this presentation here. The next thing I want to talk about is the new BHS website. When you go to district100.com, you'll have a choice of schools. You can select Belvedere High School. When you go to Belvedere High School, this is what the front page will look like. One of the most important buttons right now is the remote learning button. Okay, a brown bar right there that you can go ahead and click. When you click that, what you will see is you will see all of your teacher names. And what you can do is you can click on the teacher name. It's a drop-down menu, and then you can select the block that you are a part of. By reading your schedule and understanding your schedule, you'll know which teacher's name to click on and which block to click on. Once you click on a particular block link, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see a Google slide that looks like this. And there's a lot of good information on here. The week's overview, contact information for your teacher, the welcome video. Every teacher has a welcome video for their students. Definitely check those out. There's a ton of creativity and great energy coming from our teachers. You can get to know them through those welcome videos. Course overview, course resources. I'm going to draw your attention to the Google Meet section right here. This is very important because when we go to those times where you're meeting at 9 o'clock, 10:25, or one of the afternoon blocks, you're going to click on this Meet link right here. It's going to take you to a site that looks like this, and you will click the button Join or Start Meeting. When you click that button, Join or Start Meeting, you'll have the opportunity to type in a Google Meet code. Type that in and click Join, and then you'll have an opportunity to meet with your teacher and your classmates at the appropriate times. Final thoughts to kick off this first video. Our mindset is going to be very, very important this year. Mindset is defined by how we think about events. An important thing about mindset to know is that we always have a choice. And I've got an example about writing that I think illustrates this. So this is a tweet that I pulled a couple weeks ago, and this has everything to do with mindset. Many people assume they are bad at writing because it is hard. This is like assuming you're bad at weightlifting because the weight is heavy. That's an example of a mindset. Writing is hard, so I must not be very good at it. He continues the tweet and finishes the tweet by saying this: writing is useful because it is hard. It's the effort that goes into writing a clear sentence that leads to better thinking. We always have a choice with our mindset. We can choose with regard to writing that we're bad at it because it's hard, or we can choose to say it is useful because it is hard. So my call to action for not only our staff, but for you students is this: develop and grow your mindset for success from day one. You're watching this likely on September the 8th, but even if this is not the day that you're watching it, maybe you'll have to watch it later for whatever reason. My challenge to you and the call to action is to have a mindset for success. Train yourself to be strong in your thinking and your belief system. Tell yourself things like, writing is hard and that is why it's useful, versus I am bad at writing because it is hard. And I want you to see yourself winning. I don't want you to be afraid of this opportunity that is in front of us. It is different. It is a lot of unknown, but there's been a lot of progress that we've already made. Remote learning in the fall is not going to look at all like it did in the spring. And that's not a criticism. We did the best that we could in the spring. You did the best that you could in the spring. But now we've had time to reflect, prepare, and come up with a good structure ready to engage you in what you're excited about and help you move forward towards your goals and dreams, ultimately towards finding your greatness. Thank you for tuning in to this opening video. We're going to have other videos throughout this week to help you prepare and understand what the whole structure looks like, and we'll make them available for you in other ways as well. I hope you have a great year, Bucks. Go get them.